Lago di Como. The bus arrived. Hi! So ready na kami sa Lake Como. Ayan ang bus. So, feeling tourist ang bruha. Feeling tourist. So, packet na kami sa bus. So, see you later!
Approximately 1 hour, we are going to reach the city of Como that gives the name to the lake. Together, we are going to have a walking tour of the center, so I'm going to show you the main landmarks. We will talk about the history of the city, and then we have the boat cruise. The boat cruise lasts approximately 1 hour. We are going to see the very first part of the lake, and then we will return to Como, to the city. Right after the boat cruise, we are going to go up to Brunate. Brunate is a small village located uphill, and from there we have a beautiful panoramic view of the lake. So remember, we arrived to Como, we have a walking tour, boat cruise, Brunate, and then after Brunate you will have free time. You're going to have also a little bit of free time after our city tour, so you will have approximately 20 minutes, half an hour. During this time I have to buy the tickets for the boat, and you can go maybe have breakfast, explore a little bit, okay? Then we are expected to be back in Milan approximately at 6 p.m. Depends a bit on the traffic. So if the program isn't clear now, don't worry, I will repeat it several times during the day. Now it's important that you have a general idea. When you got on board, you were given some radios by my colleague. We will use these radios once we leave the bus, so during the boat cruise, during the walking tour, and going up to Brunate. A couple of technical information for the day. First of all, the masks are mandatory on board, and during the day, especially for the boat cruise and for the cable car up to Brunate, we need these types of masks, the FFP2. So if you don't have them, I will show you exactly where you can get them in Como, but they are very important because without them we can't use the boat and the cable car. So while we are still in Milan, I wanted to show you some of the landmarks of our city. For example, here on the left hand side, you can see that we have this big park and a small building. This small building has a little museum dedicated to the fish, so it's a small aquarium, and the park in general is called Parco Sempione, the Sempione Park. It's like the Greenland of a city. It's one of the largest that we have in Milan. It's a really nice area just to walk around a little bit, and as you can see right hidden by the trees, there's a small arena. This small arena is used for different events connected to the city, so it's very popular especially for children. We have a lot of school trips here. The city in order to get to the highway, which is north. Como is not very far from Milan. It's approximately 45-50 kilometers, so that's why it takes us only 1 hour. So now we are going to turn to the left, but if we kept going straight, you can see that at the end of the street there is a very modern building. Let's see if you can take a look here. Take a look to the right hand side at the end of this street. Over there we have the Microsoft building, and it introduces us to one of the modern areas of Milan, which is Garibaldi. Garibaldi is a district full of skyscrapers, modern buildings like that one. We have offices of big companies like Microsoft, Samsung. We have also some banks. Such an example, of course, the one that we find in Paris is much bigger, it's much greater, but this one was built using the French one as an example. We're going to see it after this street light on the left at the end of the street. So we have such a big group today. I see that somebody's from the States. I overheard you speaking. So where is everybody from? Let's see who is from the United States. Okay, quite a lot of people, all right. And then let's see everybody else. Where are you from? Dubai. Okay, wow, it must be beautiful then. Okay, that's it, United States and Dubai. Okay. So it's a nice mixture. Well, I'm actually from Ukraine originally. I was born in Ukraine, but I grew up in Italy since I was very little. So I'm both. I'm Ukrainian and Italian. It's a nice mixture for the day. So now we are slowly leaving the center of Milan behind our back, and now we are in a residential area where we find also a lot of many big important offices and corporations. In a couple of minutes we are going to take the highway, so during this time I'm going to let you rest a little bit, because again I know that it's still quite early in the morning, so maybe you want to relax a little bit. I'm going to let you rest. If you have any questions for me regarding the tour, if the temperature is not alright, if it's too hot, too cold, please let me know. Just one more thing I wanted to tell you, that on the sides of your seat, probably nearby your windows, there are the outlets for charging your phones. Okay, if you don't find it right away, just let me know and I will help you. So I would like to explain you some technical information now, so I kindly ask everybody to make sure that you are listening and you pay attention. So very important information: when we get off the bus now, we are going to start the walking tour. But before starting the walking tour, you have to look at two different meeting points. The first meeting point that we are going to see is the last one for the day. That's where we are going to catch the bus to return back to Milan this afternoon. It's the same spot where the bus will leave us. Remember, the spot where the bus leaves us now is the same meeting point for this late afternoon for going back to Milan, okay? That spot. So whatever happens during the day, we are meeting there at 4:45. So 4:45. I wrote it here, but I'll show it to you later also. 4:45, the same spot where the bus leaves us now. While the other meeting point is going to be for catching the boat. So we are going to get off the bus and we will go together to the center to see the meeting point for the boat. See at the end of the street a tower. That tower is part of the walls that surround the historical center of the city. So everything that is inside the walls is the historical center, and that's where we will be today, while everything outside is part of the modern or residential area. The walls date back to the Middle Ages, and they are very important for the city of Como, because Como is actually one of the few cities of Italy where we still have 70% of original walls. This is quite rare in Italy because usually we only have small parts remaining, but here you can clearly see them. They were defensive walls, and the reason why they were built is because Italy has been a united country as we know it today only since 1861. Before that year we had a lot of small independent states, and as you can imagine they didn't really get along because each state wanted to have more territory in order to have more power and more wealth. So we often had wars and battles. But Lake of Como in particular has a very strategic location. It's a very strategic position because it's right between the Italian peninsula and the rest of Europe. We are only a couple of minutes away from Switzerland. So during the centuries, many different states tried to conquer the territory, and that's why the city of Como needed to have these defensive walls to protect themselves from the attacks. So now you can get ready. We are very close to the drop-off point. There isn't any traffic here, so less than 2 minutes to go. Now take a look here to the right. You can see this brown building. It's particular because now it's just a parking lot, nothing special. But when they were building it, they had to dig underground and they found remains of Roman baths. So Como is a Roman city. It was founded in the 3rd century BC, and we don't have a lot of remains dating back to Roman times, but we do have the baths. Now take a look here to the left. We have the back of the cathedral, one of the main monuments of the city. We will see together the front. And then here on the left, you can see this building with columns. This is a theater, Teatro Sociale, or the social theater. It's one of the most important that we have in Italy. Of course, the most important one is the one that we find in Milan. It's La Scala Opera House. So the bus is going to leave us right here on this square in the middle. So this is where we get off, and again, this is the last meeting point for the day, okay? We are going to meet here at 4:45, okay? Really important. 4:45, this square, it's called the Piazza Roma, Square Roma, and right in front we have a hotel, the Palace Hotel, okay? So just as a reference.